still got it. I 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 still got it. It's a little trash talk with some faith. Old head out of shape. Jordan with the fadeaway. Steph with the trade. I still got it. 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 I still got it.
What's happening? We are back once again. Episode 3 of I Still Got It.
Yes,
It's
sir.
your boy Young Pope here. I'm here with my man JJ Jarvis Jones Films and my man Free Will.
Yes, sir.
All right, so like we say every episode, we're gonna start off with the top 5. Please follow, like us, Instagram, TikTok, on our social. You'll see it underneath. The top 5 for today is top 5 rappers. These are our top 5 rappers. We're not here to appease nobody else's opinion. This is our top 5 rappers. It may be kind of biased. It may not be, but we're going to kick it off with our top 5. And since we got an artist on the show as a part of the I Still Got It crew, we're going to go to my man Free Will first.
Yes, sir. Say, start with the best. I like that. That's how we do it. So, got to set the bar high.
This guy,
man.
Hey, man, Pope love the kid.
Take notes. Take notes. Number 1, Jay. Can't go wrong now. Number 2, Andre 3000. 3 stacks.
Individually, not with Big Boy. By himself.
By himself.
Respect.
By himself.
Just wanted clarity.
Number 3, Common.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No disrespect. I didn't see it coming. That's
Common. Yes.
It is disrespect.
Common.
Man.
Listen to that catalog.
Go ahead, though.
Good.
Number 4, going with Kendrick. Yes. Even though this new album is still growing, growing on me, But Kendrick at my number 4. And my number 5, who I got at number 5? Ye. Gotta go Ye.
Really?
Kanye. Yes, sir. Mr. West.
You got
West.
I tell you one thing.
We got about 2 that I agree with.
You got a lot of diversity on that
Yeah,
list,
I'm
my
talking
boy.
about for real.
That's what greatness does.
I hear you.
You gotta have,
Kendrick top 5 all
gotta
time.
have some variety, man.
Jeez. That's tough.
All right.
That's tough, big.
Coming.
Come on. You gotta have a little variety. You don't want hamburgers and pizza every day.
I get
Man.
you. They say it's the spice of life. You got it over there.
Boy, do it.
You got some lobster, some shrimp. Some
Yeah,
fish.
you spicy over there like that.
Boy, got some kale.
Come
Some
on,
radish.
Skip.
Boy, got radish over there. Oh, man. Top 5 for real. All right, so y'all just go ahead and blank all of that out what he just said.
pig.
Let's really talk about the top 5.
Vanilla ice. Come on. What you got?
Man, first of all,
You better not say MC Hammer.
Right.
the greatest. He should be up there.
Oh, man.
But
Get
the
up out of here.
greatest lyrical rapper of all time is Notorious B.I.G. So he starts out as number 1.
Okay.
Are we putting him in order or just 5?
I mean, you
Yeah,
put him in
it's
order.
fine.
I don't think he did. He just.
Big, J, Pop, Tip, J, Big, Pop, Tip, and 3 stacks.
That's 4.
That's 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
What? Call it. Say it again.
J, Big, Pop,
Okay.
Tip, and 3 stacks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think I can.
I ain't mad at that. You from Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? All
You
right.
gotta go home.
Probably and chick, Flow Ride or somebody, bro. Look at Flow Ride is top 5.
Come on.
Boots with the fur. All right, so mine is completely biased, and I don't care.
Uh-oh.
Completely biased. Please, and I dare anybody to
Come on.
question me on it. I got T.I.
Yes, sir.
I got Wayne.
Okay.
I'm gonna count Outkast as 2 individuals.
Okay.
I respect. Everybody always talk about 3 Stacks. And no disrespect, 3 Stacks is that boy big boy. You can't rap next to 3 Stacks your whole life without being a dog yourself. So I got
5.
this my list. This is my list.
Bro, what's going
This
on?
man had comment.
Y'all okay today, man?
I don't want to hear that.
Do we need to start? Do we need to start the podcast over something?
T.I.,
Look,
Wayne, Outkast, and I'm gonna finish with Luda, man. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on
Luda.
Luda.
man,
You gotta stop sleeping on what Luda, man.
Oh my god.
what is this? This is what year we in? This is 2003.
You said all time. You got Common on there.
Listen,
Bruh.
Come on now.
Common is you realize Common? I think he got an Oscar. This man got a Golden Globe,
We talking
and he
about-
got the
What they
Grammys.
gotta do with rap?
He got look. You wouldn't have no Kanye without Common. This is Shot Town.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Now
And he's still going strong.
I want to put Ye top 5. I just can't. I can't. Only person I would arguably I can't. 'Cause I ain't gonna get banned from the city. I was saying, and that's only because he don't have a solo album.
Who?
Stacks.
He don't need one.
I mean,
Take Stack off and keep Tip.
Step stays, bro.
Top
Tip,
five.
tip,
Hey, y'all
tip.
gotta stop disrespecting Tip, bro.
Look, my list wasn't just like the majority of both of y'all lists is just the South.
That's
So,
fine.
look.
We own music.
I
We
gave you
own
two.
gotta- you
I
gotta
gave
have
you
some
two
variety.
great guys.
Got some variety.
You don't need it. When you the best,
You the
Look,
best.
I got every coast. I got the East. I got the South. I got the West.
it don't matter.
Bro, I'm not.
Hey, look, man.
taking
The North?
no- I'm not taking no.
LeBron went 10 times in a row. We ain't get no variety. Played the Warriors 5 times. When you're great, you're great.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
That's it.
I don't need that.
How many times he went?
Who?
LeBron.
He went 10.
How many rings he got?
He got, 4 of them things.
Right.
That's good.
Sound like a loser to me. sound like he lose more than he win.
Golly.
He lose more than he win. That's your goat.
The disrespect is oozing out of the mics
I'm
today.
talking
That ain't my
Out
goat.
of control.
Golly.
That's your goat.
You know what? That's a perfect segue because the title of this episode is
Yes.
"Okay to Be Okay." I'm gonna have to be
It's
okay.
okay to be okay.
I'm gonna have to be okay with you doing what you doing today, bro.
It's okay to
Oh
be
my
okay.
God, it's okay.
Sheesh.
So today we're gonna be talking about, man, like I said, it's okay to be okay. We're talking about like different situations that kind of like where athletes were kind of like overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Not on their game for whatever reason. Like you said, you talk about Michael Jordan retired in '93. A lot of time he get brushed over as like, just a blip in his resume, so to speak, or it's put on the gambling, but his pops was murdered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a lot for anybody. Your pops is essentially your best friend. And so his pops was murdered. The young girl, the tennis player, what was her name? Naomi Osaka. Osaki. She stepped away for a brief moment because of, her mental health and protecting herself. And I think we all have those moments of just like, man, this is a lot right now.
Yeah.
And typically at least we probably last set of that age group where it was like, yo, suck it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember seeing on this show, I can't remember exactly what the setup was, but the dude was complaining about life. He was like, bro, his big brother told him life hard, get a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, fam. You got to keep trucking along.
Yeah.
And so is it okay to say that, like, yo, I'm not okay? You know what I'm saying? What is that okay? And and what circumstances essentially determines that? Like, because what may be too much for me may not be too much for you. You know what I mean? So how do you decipher when it comes to, specifically, we'll start with sports. Like, when is it okay to be like, yo, I need a game. I can't play tonight. I need a half a season. I need whatever. I need a Kyrie. I just, it's a lot going on in the world. It may be flat, maybe round. I don't know. I needed a couple days to think about it. Like, where's that line where it's like, nah, that's cool. We get it. It's okay to not be okay.
Yeah, I definitely can respect it, But being a fan, I remember like when I like was legit like young. I remember like being a Dolphin fan. Like I had a, it it's tough.
It's been a rough life.
Yeah, it's been a rough life. But I remember,
I respect.
Stay with the losers.
you know,
Hey man, cut that out. I respect your hardship, bro.
them Falcons ain't no better.
Hey, that's why I said I respect your hardship. We don't need to throw that out there.
But you
don't
know,
have to-
but you know, after you have a tough loss, you know, you deal with that, and you know, as a fan, and you know, you don't want to go to work the next day. You like, oh, my team done lost, and you just going through it. But then, as I matured, I realized, man, it's a business. Like, you know, the Miami Heat, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Even Boston, like they lost. You know, lost in 6 games to Golden State. And you watch the game and you're like, man, I know it hurt for them players. But I don't really think it hurt like that when you can go to the crib, you know, you millionaire, you know, you living in your dream house, you jump in the Lambo, whatever you want, or you can go take a vacation. But I think it's okay. Like in this day and age, we need to really encourage that, you know, because it's a business. And I think like the former generation, they were just so caught up in the game, and they, you know, and you can look at it. That's why, you know, they didn't really make as much, you know, in terms of, you know, just the business side of it. But I definitely think it's okay. But yeah.
I think it's tough, man. I mean, where's that line? That line is kind of it gets blurry based on how you grew up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we push through different things, push through it, you know, put some dirt on it. You'll be all right, suck it up. I don't want to see you crying. You a man, punching in the chest and little stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? So you get out there and try to fight through stuff that you don't essentially understand why you're fighting through it.
Right.
So then you go through these situations where in football, at least for the last, you know, 5 or 10 years, they really start doing the CTE thing. You know what I'm saying? So now they starting to realize, you know, I mean, what's my man, Junior Seau, you know what I'm saying? When he commits suicide, you and it's connected to CTE, but you wonder, like, what made you keep going through it? Is it because of that mentality in your mind that's kept telling you to say, man, just push on through it, man. Oh yeah, you hurt. You know, what's my man, Running Lot, cut his finger off. Yeah. Bro, I'm not that dedicated, cause we would have lost the Super Bowl. It's up to me, bro. Like, I'm not cutting off my finger for that, man. But you know, it's stuff like that because those are the stories you'll bring up. Man, Running Lot cut his finger off. I'm not Running Lot, sir, so I'm not finna cut my finger off. But that becomes the standard to a younger crowd to say, keep pushing on through it. And it's like, at what point do you start tailoring that thing back though?
But that's like, you know, like that's an extreme, the Running Lot. You know, that's an extreme situation. The Jordan, his father passing. But I think sometimes there's a line, and he puts you on either the new school side of thinking or the old school style of thinking, because some of these, you know, some of these dudes, man, you know, like, I ain't never seen dudes that get paid what they get paid, like as many days they get. You know what I mean? Like, part of the whole Jordan, you know what I'm saying, hype, or bro played a lot of games. Like, if he was available, he played. You know what I mean? And, you know, you got the LeBrons, the Kobes of the world, guys like that. Like, hey, there's a kid in the stands. His dad has scraped up every dime he got to come see me. I'm sick, but it's the only chance to see. I want to put on a show. I want to be the best version of myself for that, you know, for that fan and you know, my team and everything like that. And I'm not saying that these players have to do that, because obviously, especially in sports like football, these guys sometimes put themselves at risk. You know, they was harmed to themselves. They had to get out, you know, wouldn't get out their own way. But I'll use Kyrie for example. I have no issue with Kyrie. He's not on that list that Pope got issue with. He's not on it, I swear. So let me put that disclaimer out there. That's not why I'm going there. But it's just, it seems as though anything that he needs adjustment on in his mental causes him to miss games. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not even talking about the vaccine thing. That was you know, if you don't believe in the vaccine, you don't want to take it, cool. You know, I think it was unfair that unvaccinated players could come to New York and play, but he, as a resident and a player on that team, couldn't play. So that's a whole nother. Right. So I don't even really kick him as much as people did, because he should have been able to play based off that. But the whole like, well, they protesting. There's stuff going on. People marching.
Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, I got you. I can't call out for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my employer not gonna pay me for me, feeling some type of way about that. You know what I mean? Like, where's that line at? You know, like Kawhi, he'll take a whole year out. Like, I'm not saying he's not hurt, but at what point, especially when you see a guy like a Klay Thompson,
Right.
beating himself up to get back, like begging, crying, pleading, killing himself to get back, but you got other players that like, they'll, hey man, I'm not having a good day. The girlfriend pissed, kids acting up. I need a couple of days off. I think that's why sometimes this generation get the soft rap. You know what I mean? It's part of the game. Every sport has tailored the rules for the offense, so it's a little bit soft in that respect, and that's not their fault. But the stuff that is their fault is like, it don't take nothing to keep you out of the game. It's not the same passion on it, and they don't appear to be as tough. Physically they are, but I think mentally is where it comes in. Like, they're not as, I think we talked before, like, there's no killers. I can't think of a killer like Kobe and Jordan now. Like, who's the killers in this game? Because nobody mentally, he really seems to be on par. Like, all the killers are aging out. LeBron, I know some people won't think so, but Steph, like, these guys are, I think maybe Giannis,
Yeah.
but there's not a lot of killers. I think mentality-wise, they're a lot softer than the era before.
Yeah, and I agree. But is that, I guess, when we're having like that GOAT conversation, that debate, are we able to use that to say, because this generation was more mentally tough than this generation, does that make them,
To a degree, yeah.
Greater? Because I hear just people from this generation, even some people like somebody sitting to my left over here, that doesn't use that in the GOAT argument, because I could only imagine what MJ would be like if he had load management, if MJ had the trainers that these players got. Like, imagine what he would do, like if he had what's the just the technology that they have.
Don't get him started.
So but
average 60. No, I just
he probably would. But back then, it wasn't okay to say,
yeah. That wasn't cool.
It wasn't okay to tap out. But I think it's good that the game is moving forward. I think to give the players the ability to say like, I'm going to put my health first. But at the same time, I think it penalizes them in that GOAT conversation.
So, I mean, part of it too, like, on part of that era or toward the 90s, mid-90s era, I listened to the interview with Grant Hill. And one of the things he said when he got injured, I think it was Orlando. Orlando pushed him too early, and instead of him needing another couple of more months to sit out, they moved his date up, and he ended up re-injuring the ankle, made it worse. So when you look at it, it's like, I'm coming from the mindset of how we grew up is, push on through it. The trainers thought pattern this way, the team setup was this way. He probably felt that way as well. But look what it got you. It got you in this point where we're talking about, man, what you could have been. You could have been the GOAT. I mean, arguably in the conversation. But whatever. You could have been in a conversation with it, but because of your injury and somebody pushed you too far to go, we'll never know. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, what you got against Grant Hill, man? What do you do?
I got nothing against Grant Hill, but we're gonna change this podcast name to the Grant Hill. What it could have been show.
I'm just saying, I mean, it was so.
I feel you though.
But when it comes to those things, I mean, like you have just those mental breaks. You know what I'm saying? Like it's. I mean, sometimes it's not even looked at from MJ's perspective of the real reason why I walked away.
Right.
Like, dude, that took a toll on me mentally. Yeah. That's my dad. That's, like you said, that's my best friend at the time. the person I talk to probably daily, and y'all, it wasn't like he passed away from natural causes.
Right.
Somebody killed this man. You know what I'm saying? And now, and I'm young at the same. You know what I'm saying? What maybe 30, 31?
He was like late 20s.
Late 20s. You get what I'm saying? And you looking at this, it's like, bruh, that's a lot on a young man. Yeah, he came back, but it's like, bro, that's a lot to even consider. So, you know.
And even with him coming back, he highlighted it briefly in the Last Dance doc that before the game against the Pacers, which is his first game back that season, he kind of had a minute to himself because it was the first time he was gonna be playing basketball with without his pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like without his pops seeing. And that so that's we put, this whole man's on, on stuff and being tough. And that's a real moment, right? And I don't think nobody would judge him for that. But comparing that to some of the stuff these guys are sitting out for though, I think that's where the line gets. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even to I got a son. Right, he's only 2, but there's a balance I'm trying to find already, so that when he gets into those moments, I know I'm prepared, so to speak, to maneuver him. So I know when we was kids, like you fall, scrape your knee, man, shut up, put some dirt on it, spit on it, whatever, like toughen it up. All right, now I physically hurt myself. I'm 2 years old. I'm 3. Like, you want me to suck it up? Like, what is that? I don't even understand the concept of that at that point. And then what are we teaching them? If that's the case. But at the same time, there is a level of, especially for black men, there is a level of sucking it up you have to do because of just the society we live in and the state of the world. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's nothing that we can do to change that. So it's hard trying to find that balance because I see some, I got some couple guys I work with, younger guys, I'm like, man, it's kind of a soft mentality, bro. Like, you know what I mean? But at the same time, he didn't grow up with the same hardships that I might have grew up with. Right. So what's difficult to him may not be difficult to me. But I just got to be a balance, I think, though. You know what I mean? Because some of these players now, man, it's hard. Like, and then you got to think about it. Most fans don't make what they make, and I think sometimes we overlook that too. And I don't think the players understand it, and I don't think we understand the players. So they're a millionaire. They make millions of dollars to play a kid's game, essentially. And then the typical fan is somebody that works a 9 to 5, would never see that much money that they make probably in a game or two their whole life. There's no clocking out for us. You work at the post office, you a garbage man, you whatever. You go to work every day, sick, rain or shine. And then this kid, essentially, because your prime is, from 18 to 30, this kid refuses to play for whatever reason. And it's more like, mental health something. And it's not nothing to, dismiss, but I think that's what a disconnect is. When you have the regular Joe working and grinding, and they have just as real issues as you do, but they on a way lower pay scale. They can't understand the toll that sometimes just in the media, like a Ben Simmons or somebody, they get killed. Every time Ben Simmons, if he Google himself, there's nothing positive that pop up. You know what I mean? Like his Wikipedia page is probably trash right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that can wear on you mentally everywhere you look. The team you play for, they booing you. You know what I'm saying? It's your home crowd, and you getting booed. So, but how do I understand that as a regular Joe working through real issues too? Like I think that's sometimes what a disconnect is too.
I think even the disconnect as well is we put it too much on the amount of money. I get it, you know what I'm saying? But like, okay, he make $10 million, he make millions of dollars, he should be able to push through it.
Right.
Still human.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, that's draining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Versus the guy that works at the factory. Okay, boss getting on my nerves, X, Y, Z. It's the equal if he messed up something that cost the company something. Everybody looking at him crazy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Except I got a couple of these people looking at me crazy that I got to see every day, and a couple of thousands of fans that come see me. And I ain't never met y'all day in my life. You know what I'm saying? And y'all booing me. So I mean, I think taking the money aspect out of it can kind of play a role too. But I get what you're saying.
But you know why they don't take it out too? Because like I don't make that. Like I didn't cost the company a few $1,000s. I don't make that a month or every 2 weeks or whatever. I ain't cost them that. Like I said, I got these dudes talking to me every time. The boss told me, "Hey, it's your last strike. Anything else, you out of here." That's a level of pressure that's real life. Yeah. Dude may make $17, $18 an hour. That's real life pressure. Now, you also got to stand this free throw line with millions watching, 20,000 people inside booing you and cheering against you. That's supposed to be on, for you. So it's both pressure, but it's like, all right, when you miss these free throws and everybody boo you, you finna go left in that penthouse. You know what I'm saying? Nice car, this, that. But this dude, if he mess up, even if he do good, that pressure looming, he ain't going home to that. He finna go get in this Honda Accord.
It's tough.
It do make a difference though.
Yeah, and no, but you can go back to your penthouse, or you can go back to your wife and you go home and beat them, or you mess around and commit suicide. No, like you looking at like, why in the world would you? If we looking at it from that perspective, what made you commit suicide? You worth millions of dollars. You got fans. You got X, Y, and Z. Yada yada yada. Why did you kill yourself? The pressure was a little the same level of. I'm saying it's the pressure.
Right. No, I got you. I got you.
So,
I agree. I mean, I think regardless of what level you are, if it's the regular Joe, if it's the professional athlete, like it takes you really being a man, like to say like, yeah, yo, I'm okay. Like if it's a 9 to 5 for the regular Joe, like just putting in that time saying, because I know like myself personally, like a lot of times, like I have so much like time off. Like I'm, and it rolls over, but I rarely use it, because you think like, oh, I got to be there at the job. I got to be committed to this. Right. And so I think, we need to follow this trend that, we see these athletes. I know that's not our reality, but we still, should put our mental health, first. And I think the issue is that like how we were brought up just as men, like whether it was passed on to us from our fathers, our grandfathers, like, yo, you need to work hard. And, and then that's why years later you have back problems, you have health problems. So, I just think we need to have that type of mentality where we consider ourselves like more important than the thing that we do.
Absolutely. No, I 100%
put ourselves first. So, yeah.
I guess I'm like I got an old school way of thinking, but I do understand a lot of the newer trends, so to speak. Because I'm all for like speaking to somebody. You know what I mean? Like whether it be a professional, whether it be a mentor, whether it be just a partner, like just to be able to get it off. Like, yo, I'm going through X, Y, and Z. But I don't know. I think sometimes too, when you get a certain level of celebrity or fame or whatnot, you can tend to think that what you feel the pressure from is bigger than what it really is.
Yeah.
And so like for instance, in the Jordan scenario, like his dad passed, right? I get it. I'm taking a minute too. If I have that option, I'm for sure taking. Whether I come back or not, like you did, is a thing. But I'm for sure taking that. Now, there's a lot of people that won't understand. I think the people that understand it the most is the people that maybe have lost somebody.
Yeah.
After losing somebody, like I completely get it. You know what I mean? And so that's two different levels of pressure. And I wish that I had the means financially to have the freedom to take that time, because grieving is tough no matter what. But then it's even harder when you don't have a break, because you tend to think you're okay because you're just rolling. The next thing, like somebody passed, you go to work the next day. But it's not like you wanted to. You haven't dealt with those emotions that quick, obviously.
Yeah.
But you don't have a choice because life keeps rolling. And it feels like, well, I'm so small of a thing in this big wheel. Like, Google gonna go on whether I'm here or not. So for me to keep my job, I got to go to work. Like, how sensitive would they be to, like, hey man, his so and so just passed? Because even most jobs, it has to be immediate family. They don't consider grandparents or cousins and stuff. Yeah. But if you could have grew up with this cousin, this could be your best friend, your ace or whatever. It hits like a brother, but he's just not physically, literally my brother. So to have those, so I do understand it, but it also I'm just all about a balance in the sense of, let's be able to express those things, get those things off, whatever struggles it may be, in whichever way you feel like a need to do so, whether it's a professional, talking to a counselor or whoever, or just like I said, somebody. But also it has to be a level of pushing on. You can't, and that's the old school part. You can't get into the fetal position. You know what I mean? Like because life constantly throws stuff at you, and if you allow it to overtake you, you will get into like, man, I don't even want to be here no more. It will get, and thankfully I've never been in a suicidal state of mind, but I do understand where that comes from because of the things that you hear about later. That this is what was going on in somebody's life. I get it. I've had that type of stuff going on in my life, and I got down, but maybe somebody said something to me, or I spoke to somebody before I got to that point, or maybe they, your faith, what I'm saying, I kept you from doing it or whatever. But it's tough. I just like the balance, because you do as men, and that's another thing too. As men, if you raise as fathers, to be able to express to the children, male and female, like, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm big on, hey, I don't want to go to school today. Tell me why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't get up every day and like, I don't want to go to school. All right, whatever, you got to go to school. But if you legit like having like, man, I had to pretend this project in, I had 3 tests, crap ton of homework.
Yeah.
All right, your grades good, you've been doing your thing. All right, we'll take this Friday.
Yeah.
Like, but finding a balance of it's like, hey, it's all right, I get it. Dad get overwhelmed too, so let's figure out how to give you a break in there. But at the same time, you can't get up every morning like, man, I hate school. Yeah, I hate my job. Let's You got to go to school, I got to clock in. We'll talk about it when we get home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that pushing through thing I think when we was talking about just coming up with this episode, reading the scripture just kind of made it make sense to me to a degree. It's when Jesus' cousin John the Baptist had passed away, and in the situation he just died. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the most famous scripture, Jesus wept. You know what I'm saying? It is based on when John died, but he took a moment. I'm trying to take a second. I think he told his disciples later on, like, let's just get away for a little second.
Right.
Overall, to trying to mentally take this in as an issue. But then later on in the scriptures, you see them, the crowd find out where he at, and now I'm pressing back to, need you to be MJ. I need you to be, what I'm saying? I need you to, the big light. I need you to be that guy again. And it's like, do I tell them no, or do I and continue my mental break? But like you were saying earlier, that thin line of pushing on through, because at some point he went on ahead and pushed on through to get to this point. You know what I'm saying? Right. And went on ahead and continue with his ministry on those type of things. But I'm saying all to say is like he took a break, but at the same time, when the people needed me the most, I also came back and like, all right, let me push on through this.
That's good. I think you could even say that, when Jesus, was crucified, like, disciples didn't just continue. They took a little break. They took a little pause. So I think it's good that you make that connection, and so we definitely have to create that culture of like, it's okay to be okay. Take a pause for the cause.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Yeah, and like, bringing it biblically, that's the ultimate example. Right. If Christ needed a break, who am I to be like, I gotta push through?
Yeah.
And so, but I mean, like I said, in all things being considered, like, you need to. It differs for every person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what one man can carry, maybe too much or whatever for the next man. So you have to have that balance. So I want to ask you guys with finding that balance or the mental health, like, what type of stuff, what gives you a moment? Like, is it reading? Is it, writing a song? Is it filming something, recording something? Like, what are those things that allow you to, is it just in your prayer time? Like, what is it that, like, I just need a minute, and this is what that minute consists of? Whether it be something deep or something like, I just need some cartoons and some cereal, bro. I just need to go back to a reminiscent time or simpler time. I just need a minute, a couple hours, just nobody mess with me on some real low-key type stuff. What is that? What are those things that, like, give you some peace?
Yeah, it's, for me, man, it's definitely creating, just with music, just centers me, takes me back to, to that place where it wasn't about creating a record, but it was just creating, just simple. It wasn't about meeting a deadline, preparing for a release, but just that pure, creative environment. That's what it is for me. And, it's times where I'll tell my wife, like, yo, I just need to create. Like, I need to go in my space, and we got a 1-year-old right now, and my wife's pregnant right now. So sometimes the man in me is like, oh, I can't create. I need,
I got something I can be doing.
Right. I gotta sacrifice, that time for me. But, I can't do that because that's who I am. Like that, when I don't spend that, time creating, I feel like the whole, my family, my daughter, my wife, even I feel like I'm in a sense like turning my back on God, when God has given me this thing and I don't spend time with it. So
yeah. I think one of mine is, of course, prayer, but like I said, I agree with you with creating, being able to write out a film, write out a story that's just take my mind away from it.
All right.
But the silly side of me, bruh.
What you about to say?
I got about 3 or 4 people on social media that I follow. Mainly because you're gonna say something or do something so silly that just, what I'm saying, like on posts, we have this thing where we just off the wall post something so crazy and funny that it just take your mind away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like one of my partner, TJ, like I know if I'm feeling bad, you go to TJ page. It's no if and but. He probably do the same thing with me too. But it's like there's no if and buts about it. I'm gonna go over there and he gonna be done posted something that's gonna completely make your mind just like for the next 10 and 15 minutes. Now I'm sitting here laughing when I was just literally pissed off about something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now that I got out of that headspace, it's kind of like, all right, whatever it is, it wasn't that serious. You know what I'm saying? So now I can decompress. Let me look at the situation.
Right.
All right, let me go back at it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of do it that way. So.
All right.
So I'm with y'all on the creating. My releases when I get a chance to sit down at a drum set, bro.
Come on.
Wow. Man, it's just like it's so dope because it's the only thing I'm concerned with. I'm just so engulfed into what I'm hearing and what I'm reacting to musically. Like when the people I'm playing with, what they're doing, and how to accompany what they're doing, and we all work together as one sound. Nick Cannon, one band, one sound. I
started your top 5 movie too.
Nah. But I didn't think about it. That's what I said. I wasn't trying to go there with it. When I said it, you laugh. I thought about it too right off the top. But then as far as just like, I guess like you said, it's just silly and just chilling. Bro, if I get off work and my wife's like, yo, I'm gonna take the kids over to my mom. Oh man, I'm gonna go grab me some wings.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna get in front of that TV, and if it's not a game, it's gonna be some movie or some show that gets me every time. It's gonna be a Friday or something, whatever it is that I'm like, I ain't seen this in a minute. Let me watch this, and I'm gonna just chill. And then when I'm done with it, I feel like I got a little refresh, like a little reprieve. Now I can attack the day again or whatever the circumstances is. And that just does it, you know what I mean? And then, spiritually, obviously, just taking a moment to pray. Taking a moment to pray, and not just one of those, because sometimes we get in the habit of just, I'm going to say a quick prayer on the way to work or blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm finna sit in it for a second. I need to feel his presence. I need to hear something because I ain't got it. I just need to know where we at. And so, but yeah, those are my 3 things, you know what I mean, on different levels, but those are my 3 things, man. So, man, yes, great show today, guys. Great show, fellas. We're going to do this thing where we end the show with kind of like, hey, we're gonna get these roses out to people, and we're going to call it, but we're calling it, They Still Got It. So that's kind of like where we came from with the name of it is, you might think they passed their prime, you might think they over the hill, but they still got it. And today's recipient is my main man, half of the Splash Brothers. Clay Thompson.
Light skin love. today.
Light skin love today, man. I'm light skin with dark skin tendencies. Look, man, Clay Thompson, man. Everybody know about Clay's injuries, man. 2 years back to back, essentially out, weren't able to play and contribute, and they counted the team out, counted them out. And as of today, bro, as we stand, they are NBA champions for the 4th time with a main core of Steph.
Still over it.
Amazing.
We gonna deal with that later. But
Yeah.
they still are what they are, and basically with Clay healthy, they've only been beat once in the finals. If you know, we're doing simple math, he went out against Toronto too. So so anytime Clay is healthy, they're a good bet to win. Good bet to win. So he's 32, and most consider like he over his prime. Came back, played well, had a couple major games for them. So he is today's They Still Got It recipient.
Yes, sir.
So man, that does it. That's episode 3 in the bag. Y'all follow, like us, subscribe, comment, share. Instagram and TikTok. If you agree with what we say, let us know. If you hate what we say, let us know. We want to hear it.
I know y'all hate what we
It ain't gonna change. We still gonna have Common in the top 5. I'm still gonna be all Atlanta basically, but we don't care. But all jokes, we want to hear it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout us out. We appreciate y'all listening, man. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did making it, man. Until next time, we out.
Yes, sir.
Sir.